What's going on, guys? In this tutorial I'm going to show you some very useful tips, tricks and shortcuts for Visual Studio Code. Okay, so the first four requires that you have Emmet enabled on your Visual Studio Code editor, and actually Emmet comes shipped in with Visual Studio Code. It's a plugin that is already pre-installed, okay, on Visual Studio Code. So to make sure, first make sure that you have Emmet working. Basically you can just go to your settings and search for Emmet, and you should see the Emmet. It's actually comes shipped in with Visual Studio Code. So basically just make sure that this is selected, so trigger tab, expansion on tab, and make sure that it's selected. Okay, so basically that's all you need to do. So the first shortcut I'm going to show you is how to generate your HTML boiler template. So basically to do that, just press the exclamation mark and hit the tab key. Okay, so it generates a HTML template. Okay, so that's the first. The next shortcut I'll show you is how to generate an opening and a closing tag with Emmet. So basically what you just need to do is to type in the name of the tag. So this is div, and then hit the tab key and it automatically generates a closing tag. Okay, so the next thing I'll show you is how to generate an opening and a closing tag with a class. Okay, so I'm just going to type div and then I'll add dots and I'll just say container. So this is if I hit the tab key, it generates a div with a class of container. Okay, so the next is how to generate a nested kind of section within your HTML. So basically I'm going to generate a nav section. Okay, and I'll nesting list tag, and how many do I want? I'll say times. So times will be asterisk and then 5, and then I'll hit the tab key, and then you see it generates a nav tag with 5 li tag within it. So okay, so basically that's how you do this. Okay, so for the following shortcut, for the next set of shortcut I'll be showing you, because I'm using a Windows machine, I'll be using Control and Alt. Okay, but basically if you're using a Mac, essentially the difference is that where I use Control you should replace with Command, and where I use Alt you should replace with Options. Okay, so Control for Command, Alt for Options on your Mac machine. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to search for different files within the folder you're working on. So the shortcut for that is Control P, and you can just simply search for whatever file it is you want. Okay, and then it also shows you the recently opened file. So I can just click on all.js and it shows me this file. All right, so the next trick I'm going to show you is how to adjust the font size of your code. Okay, so basically what you need to do is to press Control and plus to increase the font size, or Control and minus to reduce the font size. Okay, so remember you're replacing Control for Command if you're using a Mac. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to duplicate a line of code. So I'm just going to say test here to make it different. So basically to duplicate this line, I'm just going to press Shift Alt and the down arrow key. So see, I've duplicated it. If I want to duplicate it upward, what I just need to do is to press Shift Alt and the up arrow key. Okay, so it duplicates it upward. Okay, so either duplicating up or down, all you need to press is Shift Alt and the respective direction. All right, next I'm going to show you how to move a line of code up or down. So suppose I wanted to move this div downwards below the nav. Basically what I just need to do is to select and to press Alt and then down. So as you can see, I'm moving the div down. Okay, and I've moved it to just below the closing tag of the nav. Okay, so if I want to move it upward, all I gotta do is to press the Alt key and then press up. Okay, so that's how you move a line of code. Basically you can highlight a block of code and move it down, together, or move it upwards. Okay, Okay, next I'm going to show you how to collapse a section of your code. So supposing I wanted to collapse this nav section of my code, basically all I got to do is I just got to highlight all of this, and I'll press Control Shift and opening square brackets. So Control Shift and the square bracket, and then it collapses my code. So my code is actually still here, but it's just that it's collapsed. If I click on these three dots, it opens up the code. So if I have a whole bunch of code and I just want to collapse different section, all I gotta do is use that shortcut. So Control Shift and the brackets. Okay, and then I can just equally open it up by clicking on the three dots. Next, I'm going to show you how to indent a section of your code. So you can either indent it outward or inward. So simply just highlight your code and press Control and opening square bracket. Okay, so if I press it, I can indent it outward by pressing the outward square, the closing square bracket, or indent it inward by pressing the Control and the opening square bracket. Okay. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to toggle the terminal. Okay, how to show or hide the terminal essentially. So what you do is you press Control and the back tick. Okay, so the back tick on my keyboard is just the key before number one. Okay, so that's how you toggle the terminal. So if I press Control and back tick again, the terminal is hidden, and basically I can toggle the terminal this way. So the next trick I'm going to show you is how to select multiple tags on your web page. So basically, to select all the li tags, basically what I'm just going to do is I got to highlight the first li tag. Okay, so the first li tag is highlighted, and then I'm going to press Ctrl D to select the next one. So both tags are selected, and then if I press Ctrl D again, it keeps selecting all the li tags. And then basically if I want to change it to whatever it is I want, like a paragraph tag for example, I can just hit the P, or I can just change it to, let's say, a h1 tag. Okay, so but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so basically use Ctrl D to select multiple tags. Okay. All right, the next trick I'm going to show you is how to highlight multiple areas using your cursor. So supposing I wanted to delete this test, the three tests, basically what I just got to do is I got to click on Alt, and then I'll select this area. I'll click on Alt and select the next area, and then the last. So basically I've put my cursor just after the three areas where we have tests, so I can go ahead and delete, and I can write whatever I want, and it will be written on the three areas. So use Alt and select to do that. All right, next I'm going to show you how to add a comment. Okay, so basically the shortcut to add a comment is Control and a forward slash. So this is how you add a comment. So I'm just going to say this is a comment, and remember, comment does not display on the web page. Okay, so supposing I wanted to comment out this block of code or a block of code, basically I just gotta highlight all of it and press the same shortcut, Control and forward slash. Okay, and all of this code has been commented out. Okay, and then if I highlight it and press the same Control and forward slash, this uncomments it, so it's like a comment toggle. Okay, so that's a shortcut that I think you should know. All right, next I'm going to show you how to toggle the sidebar of your Visual Studio Code. So basically what you do is you press Control and B. Okay, so Control B will show the sidebar, and Control B again is going to hide it. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to toggle the word wrap function in your Visual Studio Code. So basically word wrap is, for example, if you have your code and your browser beside your code, and you have something like a very small, you have very long lines of code, basically to toggle your word wrap function, you just press Alt and Z. Okay, so Alt Z. So basically the word wrap function is just going to expand the section. Okay, and if I press Alt Z again, as you can see, all of my code has been wrapped, such that if the lines of code are too long, they go to the next line. So for some reason you may want to be able to see your code on a straight line. Okay, so that's how you toggle the word wrap function, Alt and Z. Okay. All right, next I'm going to show you the shortcut to create a new tab. So to create a new tab, basically you just need to press Control and N, okay, and like so you've created a new tab. Okay, I'm going to close this because I don't need it. And then to reopen a closed tab, so basically what I got to do first is I got to open one more tab. So I press Control P to show my recently opened tabs, and I'm just going to open all.js. Okay, so basically to close this tab, all I got to do is press Control and W. So Control W. Okay, so and that tab is closed. Next, the next shortcut I got to show you is to reopen a closed tab. So basically what I got to do is I got to press Control Shift and T, and then it reopens the tab that I just closed. I think the last shortcut I'm going to show you is how to switch from one tab to the next. So basically if you're working with 2 files or 2 to 3 files and you want to be able to easily switch without clicking on the mouse, basically what you need to do is to press Control and Tab. Okay, so it's in all.js right now. If I want to take it to index.html, I gotta press Control and Tab, and it goes to the next tab. Okay, all right, the last shortcut I gotta show you is how to open in the browser right from your Visual Studio Code. Okay, but to do this you need an extension called Open in Browser. So just click on your extension or press Ctrl Shift X and add an extension called Open in Browser. So basically you just got to install it, and then after you've installed it, all you need to do when you're on your page is to just press Alt and B. Okay, and it's going to open that code you're working on into your browser. Okay, so basically those are the shortcuts and the tips and tricks I would like you to, I think every developer should know on VS Code. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you're not subscribed to my channel, endeavor to do so. See you in another tutorial.